Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Dodar, I want to begin by thanking you for your work with the Select Committee on the Modernization of Congress. We were able to get signed into law just in December the Improving Government for American Taxpayers Act. We hope that we can get the executive branch to act on your recommendations and probably save taxpayers billions and billions of dollars. So I just want to begin by thanking you for that. Mr. Horowitz, it seems that there's likely tens of billions of dollars in PPP loan fraud that has yet to be uncovered. Is that fair?
There is likely tens of billions.
Some estimates are as high as 100 billion, but we can just agree on tens of billions. That's fine. It seems to me that you have all of the information necessary at your disposal to identify this fairly rapidly. You look at the Q4, you get the business tax ID number, and you compare the Q4 withholdings for W-2 employees versus the amount of the PPP loan, and then the Q2 and Q3 of 2020 withholdings. And there should be an algorithm or some sort of a proportionality between those different numbers. So that should be some sort of a report that you can run, and then you can just start arresting people. Is that not how this should happen?
There might be a little more sophistication to it, perhaps,
Why?
but let me just say, we don't have access to that data.
What do you need from Congress to, because it's literally a report. You should be able to run a report on those 4 data points, and then you're going to get tens of thousands of businesses that got PPP loans fraudulently, because if the metrics don't match up, then they lied and they stole and they need to go to jail. So what do you need?
A clear congressional action in legislation that says that. It took us, the fraud alert we issued this week, matching our information, and all we did was send name, date of birth, and social to the Social Security Administration and said, don't send us back your data, just give us yes, no answers. Are these the real names? It took us 10 months to do that.
Again, we agreed that the Q4 withholdings of 2019 and the Q2 and the Q3 withholdings of 2020, plus the amount of the PPP loan, those numbers should have a proportional correlation that we can all agree is fairly straightforward. It's going to be up and down a little bit depending on how much your rent is, what your utilities are, but those numbers should all match up. And if there's a huge discrepancy in whatever that correlation is, then they probably stole and it was fraudulent. So do you just need us to force everybody to create that report?
What we need is access to data. It's what the controller said about just the death master file index.
I don't even think you need access to data. You need that report run, and you need to have all the list and the discrepancy and the correlation of those 4 metrics, and then you need to go and start putting people in jail.
We need the data analytics platform to continue, and we need access to all of this data, and Congress has to legislate that.
Do you need access to the data, or do you just need Treasury to run a report?
They won't run the report unless it's clear
We can make them run the report.
That's what we would need as well then. That's
I'm
correct.
sure that this is not a partisan issue. If people stole tens of billions of dollars in COVID relief, possibly denying benefits to people that actually needed it, those people need to be held accountable.
Agreed.
And the fact that here we are years later and we still have not done something that should literally be as simple as running a report in a computer at the Treasury Department. I mean, you need us to pass a law making them do that.
We need a law. We would love to get employer identification number information.
Why would Treasury not do this?
Actually exists.
Why would Treasury not do this?
Because there's federal laws like Section 6103 of the tax code that restricts sharing of tax information. We're now not talking just for the public's benefit, not individual income tax returns, what we're talking about, but 6103 is written broadly for a variety of very good reasons to limit where that information and tax information.
All right, well look, there's 4 pieces of data that are attached to every business tax ID number, and this should be easy. I will work on legislation with everyone that is willing, and we will try to get you that information as quickly as possible. Okay. Thank you. With that, I yield back.